This one idea has made me more money in the last 3 years than most of my other online ventures combined. And the good thing is, if you follow my steps, you can use this to get your own highly profitable business online, even if you are completely new at this. Now, if you've worked with Google Maps before in the past, you probably think you know where I'm going with this. But I want you to stick with me. You're going to learn something new today. Like I said, this is the exact same system that I use to extract profits every day from Google Maps. And I've taught hundreds of other entrepreneurs just like you how to do this as well. Here's how it works. There are keywords out there with so much traffic, meaning so many people are searching for these certain keywords, that you only really need to rank for one of these keywords and you are set for life. One keyword like this could get you freedom, more time off, days spent with your family and friends, a bigger house, debt-free living, and all this working part-time at it. Can you imagine how much money you would make if 12,000 visitors per day started visiting your website? That's the type of keyword that I'm talking about. I'm talking about one keyword that could bring you 12,000 people per day, not per month, to your website. It used to be impossible to get traffic for a keyword like this, unless you had $1 million SEO budget or unless you were willing to pay thousands per day in advertising. These keywords were always reserved for gurus and huge corporations because they were so expensive to rank for. Only major players with deep pockets could afford this type of keyword and really dominating Google for these types of keywords. But then everything changed. Early in 2008, Google started displaying Google Maps results right on the first page in their regular search results. And I'm going to show you why this was so important and such a breakthrough for me. I want you to look at this screenshot of a major money keyword, dog training. Now, this is a highly competitive keyword. It's very expensive to buy ads or do any kind of search engine work for this keyword, because this keyword has over 12,200 searches per day. That means 12,200 people per day are typing this keyword in to Google every single day. Now, if you look at the map there, you can see that there's businesses listed right there on the top above every other website listed on that page. And for the most part, these businesses listed right here on top have zero search engine experience. Most of them have tiny marketing budgets. So you see here, these maps listings of these tiny businesses are knocking the major players that used to dominate this keyword. They're knocking them right off the first page, and they're doing it on accident. Many of them don't even know why or how they got listed in this little map box right here. But they are literally pushing down major players. I'm talking about millionaires that I know that used to rank for this keyword phrase using their big budgets. So you can see when Google made this change in 2008, I immediately saw an opportunity. And I started looking for a way to crack the system. And I've spent the last 9 years researching, testing, and tweaking a system that gets you listed in these maps results very predictably. Even if you don't have a local business, even if you don't even have a physical address in the specific city that you're targeting. Now, if you click the button on this page, you can get on a phone call with us to find out more about this system and how you can learn to use this system yourself. All you need to do is click the button on this page to get on the phone with us about this. But if you want to hear more about it first, let me explain a little bit more here. This system will insert your website into a first page maps listing, no matter how many big players are competing for those same spots. You can do this to get phone calls and website visitors for yourself, or you can do it for clients who will pay you top dollar every month just to be in these spots. My system will show you how to do the entire thing step by step, including getting clients to pay you monthly fees just to utilize your maps listings and expertise. Now, I don't expect you to take my word for it. Here are some results from other people just like you who used my system. Now, I do have to say your results may vary. I'm going to show you some dramatic results from some of these folks, but that just because they got those results, I can't promise you'll receive the exact same results. Now, I have to say that. But if you're willing to put the work into it, I want you to just be inspired by some of the results that these other folks have received, and I want you to imagine yourself in their exact position. Now, this guy sent me a screenshot of his Commission Junction account. That's like an affiliate account, meaning that he's getting sales every day off of his maps listings using my system, and this is a report that he generated for a few of the months, and he sent it to me. And you can see there in the red box, there are the monthly figures of the type of income he's getting from these maps listings that he set up with my system, and this is every single month. Here's another guy who sent me an email. His name is Maddie, and he used my system to get 80 clients. And you can pause the video if you want to read all of his comments there, but he basically used my course and got 80 local clients. Now, if you imagine, even if he's only getting paid a few $100s per month per client, you add that up times 80 clients, and that's quite a significant monthly income. And that's his business right there, and the phone number for his business, and that's his photo. Now, this one's kind of small, but I wanted to include it. The type is kind of small. Let me read some of it to you. The reason why I like this one is because Ralph is 81 years old. So it shows you, my system, you don't need to be a young, technologically advanced student to benefit from this. So he says here, my name is Ralph Morton. I'm an 81-year-old marketer, and I admire the way you do business. I'm going to skip down a little bit. He says here, I used your system, and you can see the bold type there. I was immediately number one for my area, not only for the town I live in, but for the towns within 60 or 70 miles. And he says here, this is not an easy keyword. Now, I blocked out the keyword there because he didn't give me permission to share, but it's a majorly expensive keyword. I know for a fact people are paying $5, $6 per click for the same keyword that Ralph Morton was able to get free traffic from using my maps system. And he lists the cities there where he is number one. And then you can see here, it sure surprised me how well it worked. And there's his photo there, his website, and his phone number. John McDonald is another one. Again, the text is kind of small there, but I'm going to read some of it to you. He says here, Chadd's style teaching takes you step by step through all the stages, needing to receive similar results. Simplifies a complex method so it's easy to follow and implement. He says here, this is the fourth product I've purchased. This is the fourth product he's purchased from me. And he says, so far, each one has made me and the IRS richer and continues to do so. Lastly, I can confirm Chadd and his customer service is superb, 7 days a week. Quickly sorted out my payment problem, blah, blah, blah. He says, great product, good customer support, no brainer. And that's John McDonald there with his website. Okay, now this one was pretty dramatic, and again, I want to repeat, I can't guarantee you're always going to get these same results, but he ranked 4th within 2 days, and that's without even needing a website. He says, I've been in real estate for over 30 years and I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars I've wasted. Now I just happened to Chad and this was my lucky day. Buy the course if you care about your business. So he's in real estate, denverhomesearch.org. I'm actually not sure if denverhomesearch.org is the exact same business that he used for maps, but that's the one that's his main business website there. Okay, now this was actually an anonymous comment on an online forum, so I actually don't know who this person's name. I can't figure out which customer it is, but he says here, I've had a pretty good response. It took a little time to get it running. I'm not very good with technology, but it got me on page 1 of Google for several accounts. The best one was for a local retailer who had 3 stores in my hometown. So he used this to actually get clients to pay him monthly, or maybe it was one-time fee, I'm not sure. But he says, I tried it on another affiliate and was able to generate several $1,000s. Bottom line is working for me. I've made money on it and will continue to work it. And that's his username. You can actually do a search for his username on Google, that towboy leg at the bottom, and get a little more information about who he is. Okay. These are 2. This is even smaller type. Forgive me for that, trying to squeeze all these in. But he says, it only took 2 days. I applied your training, very first approach, and I pulled up Google to check, and there I am. It only took 2 days. I purchased your option 1 full training and have started viewing the training. I'm excited to where this takes my business. And that's Vince from Atlanta. And again, I had to cross out some details there. Again, I can't promise it'll always take you 2 days, but for a lot of folks, they were able to get results very quickly. Tom O'Reilly at the bottom there says, my site is number 1 in 3 very competitive categories. The site I used was brand new, so it took a couple of weeks to move through the rankings, but everything you recommended really works. You can see this is an example of where it took a little bit longer. It says it took him a couple of weeks to see the results. Okay, and this is another username. This was, again, posted on a forum, so I copied and pasted it out, but you could search for his username there at the bottom if you want to find out more about who he is. But he says, I was able to generate over $2,400. He says, the techniques, you can see in the bold type there, the techniques that Chad gives can and do work. It can be a little bit overwhelming because there's a lot of information. But my suggestion is give it time. And that's great, a great example. That's great advice. Implement 1 technique a month until you master it. Just one affiliate site I own went from an average of $1,200 per month to over $2,400 per month. I highly recommend Google Maps to people who are willing to work it. It works. Okay, this was Gary. He mailed me... I believe he's doing client work as well, but he says here one particular niche brings me $1,400. So that was before he got my course. Then when he applied the techniques from my course, he increased that to $2,400. This is another Gary. This is not the same Gary. It's a different Gary who's actually in the UK. He says, we only applied what we learned to 1 brand new site. It brought us 2,000 pounds, which is about $3,000, depending on the exchange rate there. We're in the process of training our outsourcing team in the Philippines to create and populate 4 new sites. Thanks, Gary. Okay, here's Jana, and she's doing this for client work like some of the other ones. And again, we show you all this in the course, how you can do this for clients. Even if you don't have your own business, you can do it to get client work. He says here, clients now listed for high traffic keywords like in markets like hotels and law firms. If you know anything about that, it's very, very expensive, high traffic market, hotels and law firms. He says here, the software that Chad gives is extremely valuable all by itself. And if you've gotten any of my other information, you probably got some emails about our free software, that free Google Maps software. And that's what she's talking about there. You can actually, if you click on the button there and get on the phone with us, we can show you all about how to get that free software if you don't have it yet. But she says here, our clients are now listed for high traffic keywords. Even though their main domain name is not SEO optimized. That means this isn't the website that she's applied a lot of SEO tricks to, and she's still been able to get listed for high traffic keywords in very expensive markets. Again, Jantasia, she's another customer of mine. She's using it for clients. She says, all have number one spot. The clients are happy. The phones are ringing. Chad's training for me is the best. No nonsense, clear, precise teaching style. He walks his talk. This is Miami Mike. That's the name he goes by online. It's a picture of him there. He says $500,000 a year. I wanted to say thank you for your Google local shares. I was able to create a party company that's doing about $500,000 in sales per year. And I know he had set that up for his kids. He wanted something to pass on to his kids and was able to fulfill that dream using the information that we gave him from about Google Maps. Phone calls have easily tripled. This is a guy who owns his own business, used my course to apply for his own business, and he was able to triple the number of phone calls and get listed in maps all over his state. Okay, now this is kind of a long one that I had to copy and paste it because I couldn't get it to fit in the screenshot. Within 1 day, I'm number one. Now, again, I can't guarantee it's going to work in 1 day. It's highly possible it's going to take you more days than one. But this guy did experience that. And you can see, again, this is a username off of a forum at the bottom. I don't remember his first and last name. But he says here, I don't believe Chad promises that it will do a great job with absolutely no effort. My results are always generally in proportion with the effort I put into promotion, and that's true. You have to put some effort into it. Let me read I decided to test my market in the largest city, New York City. And he says here, within 1 day of using the product in any location, I'm number one in the Google Maps box, and that's that box I showed you earlier. In fact, 3 of the boroughs in New York City, I'm ahead of very large national chains, and that's something you could typically do with my course is compete with these very big players with deep pockets, like I mentioned, using some of the loopholes that I'm going to show you. He says, I've had similar results with other Google Maps promotions that I've done for my internet marketing customers. He says, frankly, I've never been disappointed with the product I've bought from Chad. He spends a lot of time trying to find really creative tweaks to help ranking and traffic counts. Okay, here's another one. And again, this is another one that was submitted anonymously on a forum. So they actually put their username, you can see there at the bottom, likes Chad. I was unable to match this with the customer who bought it in my database. So, but I want to read it because it's a great story of how these types of things go. He says here, he bought the course. Then he says, I watched the videos and had gotten very upset. It seemed like too much work to do, something which I don't like to do as far as my computer goes. So he was hoping that this would be able to be accomplished without doing any work. But unfortunately, you will have to apply some elbow grease to this system to get it to work. But then he says, after I calmed down, I digested the information in the videos. I was impressed with what the videos said you could do and was really to give it a try, but I'm lazy and I take shortcuts. So again, he's just like the other guy. He was targeted a highly competitive word in New York City. He says the listing didn't happen immediately. He got upset again and emailed Chad about it. His response didn't help me. Then the second week, the listing hadn't appeared and I became aware of my mistake. So he had actually skipped one of the steps that we'd recommended, which was why his listing didn't appear. So then he says here on the third week, he got an email from the client that said, just got my first call, thanks. So a week after he applied that missing step, his client started to get phone calls. He says, I immediately headed over to Google and entered the phrase, and boom, there she was, number 3 in the box, which previously was full. Google booted someone else off to put this listing in. So that means that actually he got his client into the box, like that maps box, like I showed you in the screenshot earlier, and Google actually bumped out this client's competitors to put her listing in, which is awesome. He says, I'm lazy, I don't like doing computer work, so I used only one technique from Chad's course, which works like gangbusters. I ignored all the other stuff Chad said to do, and it works very, very well. So I don't recommend you ignore everything else from the course, but obviously for him, He only applied one of the things, and these are the results he got. He says, "Thanks, Chad. I believe I owe you something back." All right. You have literally changed my life with this program. And you can see this is from Brad, and his company is called Qzx900 Local Marketing. You can actually do a search for it online, and brings up all the information about his company, his website, and phone number and all that. But he says, "I've been using your system for a couple of months. Now he's doing Google Maps listings for 500 different franchise owners all over the United States. You've literally changed my life," he says. I'm going to read the bottom because I love his bottom comment here. You can pause and just read the whole thing if you want. But he says, "I'm now a stay-at-home father of 2 teenage boys, left the company I worked for the first 15 years, and pursue my newfound love and career helping local business owners build their businesses." So he's using this for client work, and a large client, he's got 500 franchise owners that he's doing this for. To your success, Brad Bellamy. Love that one. Thanks, Brad. Again, this is another dramatic result. After 1 week, I'm in the map for the following search terms, and there's only me. Okay, again, I don't want to guarantee it's only going to take 1 week, but you can see that was the result that Kathleen had. And you can see this is her business, appymarketing.com. At the bottom there, you can see there's her phone number. She's offering this service to local businesses, and she gives some examples there of the kind of keywords that she was targeting and the type of businesses that she's working for. Okay, now I want to talk to you about one other very important thing. Information products are great tools. Okay, so a lot of these folks, they actually watched the videos and they got a lot of what they reported there from my techniques and my videos, which is great. But you are probably going to need personal coaching to take you to the next level. Now, I've personally spent thousands of dollars on training programs, DVDs to help me improve my business, video study courses, and seminars. And if I could go back, I would spend all that money again and more, because getting that information was crucial to the success of my business. My business has benefited immensely from these types of programs. However, these training materials are nothing compared to getting personal help for your business. You may feel alone in your online business, or maybe you have technical questions you just can't seem to figure out and you need some personalized help for. Maybe you have an SEO problem, like a search engine issue that no one seems to be able to answer. Maybe you have a whole list of questions about your website or about getting started, wondering how to do it. Well, my system that I've been talking about, and again, you can click the button below and get on the phone with us to talk all about how to get it and get all the details. But my system includes a coaching component that will make sure you get hands-on attention and even one-on-one hand-holding to walk you through if you need it. This is the quickest way. Getting this kind of personalized help is the quickest way to get started with making money online. You don't have to do this alone. I'll show you how to do it even if you are a complete beginner. Now, if you want to get involved in this, I want you to just click the button on this page, like I said before. And you can schedule a time there for a breakthrough call with us. This, I really believe, is one of the biggest opportunities of this year. And really, it's one of the biggest opportunities of the decade because of the mobile tech revolution. And the more people are on their mobile devices and searching on their mobile devices, the more Google Maps is going to be crucial and important. I believe that Maps is going to continue to dominate the normal search results more and more. And those who know how to dominate Google Maps will be on the cutting edge, making their fortunes as things evolve in the next few years online. And I want that fortune that's made to be you. I want you to be a fortune maker as things evolve in the next few years. But the next step for you is to get on the phone with a coach. And you can just click the button on this page to make your appointment with one of our coaches so we can show you the next steps and so we can show you exactly how to dominate maps and set you on a path for your new lifestyle. Just click the button on this page and schedule your phone call to learn more about it and get started. Now, make sure you're ready to start an online business like this, because when we get on the phone with you, we will likely give you some practical steps right away to start your online business with this method. Fill out the form as completely as you can with all the information that we ask for, because we want to be prepared for this phone call as well. And all the information we ask for there really helps us to be prepped for the phone call. Make sure also and include your time zone, because we have people from all over the world scheduling these calls. And I hope to talk to you soon. Again, go ahead and click on that button right there and schedule your phone call, and we will get on the phone with you. Love to talk to you. See you on the phone call.